Hello and welcome to
Closing the Gap.
Motorsport Diaries.
You guys know already, I am Ari.
And I'm Aranza.
And
Welcome.
today we bring you a little sunset. It's a little bit later in the day that we initially wanted to do this mini episode. This is not a formal episode. This is just a little half break, something to keep you going.
Yeah, we had a nice little fire going. It's very warm, I will tell you. This is real fire, and I'm getting very hot, but it's okay.
It's okay because I don't have a sweater.
Yeah, it works for her. I am getting very hot.
But yeah, just a little something to, like, this is not really an episode. It's kind of like a half episode.
To keep people going because everyone's struggling.
For our TikTok community, we see you, we hear you. Listen, there's a few things going on. We're gonna run through them quickly, and then there's so many headlines, there's so many rumors. So just a little something to keep up the spirit, like the spirits up high.
The spirits, yeah, for this long month break. But just to run down a couple of the things that we do have going on, we do have actually they had the 2 days of prologue for ELMS, the European Le Mans. So they just had their prologue. They'll have their race this weekend. We also have
huge shout out, because honestly, it's not going to come back to me later. Dorian Pont is actually doing her Le Mans.
Yes, she is.
Yes, she will be racing this weekend in Barcelona, right? 6
Yes.
hours, I saw. Something like
Barcelona.
that. So
Yeah.
huge shout outs to Dorian. So proud of you, girl. She's one of our, and while I have it fresh in my mind, too.
Go for it.
Formula 4 Central Europe. Ella
Hakkinen. Yes. I was going to mention that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So she's also doing her Formula 4 this weekend, is it? Or is it the following weekend?
I believe it's this weekend. Her and then our Formula One Academy girlies, Jay Jaquette, she just did that as well. I think the French F4, that's where she's at.
And the only reason why I brought this up this early in the episode was because I saw one of the headlines this week was Ella's dad basically saying, if it's not Ella, it's going to be somebody else. But we will see women in the top tier. Like, we will see women in Formula One before 2030. And here. Like, may prophet words find you, because honestly, I said in a 5-year time, I said last year, maybe we're there, maybe not. But I want to say 2030 sounds like a good number to me.
Listen, I just want somebody to be there. I know F1 Academy is doing their best. I'm so glad women are becoming more into the sport. Like, even the feeder series, we're getting a lot more women in feeder series, which I'm so happy about. Not that there wasn't before. It's just like after, karting, there wasn't really much for anyone to go. So now, F4 is getting people. We obviously have Le Mans and everything like that, which will guide us into what we have going on this weekend at least. We do have the Le Mans series, we do have the NLS, we have NASCAR, and we have supercars and rally in Croatia, which Croatia's so random, but I love to see it.
Amna Alkabasi, one of the Alkabasi sisters, is going to do her Porsche Cup appearance, and we are so excited for
Asian
her.
Porsche Cup.
I miss the Alkabasis so bad. They were one of my favorite ones to watch. So I think F1 Academy social media was the one that, right? Like, they did the roundup on Instagram of everything that was to look out for in April.
Yes,
and I am
did.
loving this. I know we're only doing this kind of content because we have a big break from the pinnacle of the sport. Not pinnacling a lot nowadays, but
No,
anyway.
it's not.
And everybody's kind of like, oh, this is what you can do during the break. But I feel like we should just get into the habit of, this is what else there is to watch all the time. And we hear you in all of the comments. This series is so much better. Like, you'll have more fun in it. We got Dirt, right? Like, all of these other series. Like, we know. We spend most of our time, honestly, following F1 Academy and F1, MotoGP. But we will get around to, like, participating and, like, bringing you on into even, like, highlights of some of the other series that we know you might be interested in. But I think just in general, we should get more into the habit of, this is what there's to watch this month, and this is who you should be looking out for. And I don't know, maybe there's a little, like a sub-series for something like that,
Yeah, I actually on Threads, out of all places, which I never go into Threads, but on Threads, I have someone that pops up like every Monday, I think. I'll link them down below if they pop up again. But they pop up with like what's going on in motorsports this week. So I think it's every single Monday or something like
Oh.
that. They'll put like what's going on in motorsports this week, including every single motorsport that there is. So if I do find that name, I will link it down below.
Lance Stroll, also worth mentioning, is doing his
yeah.
GT appearance
He
this
is.
weekend as well. GT3, I want to say. Yes, so here for Lance. Of all of the, obviously we know Max, like literally jumped into a GT car right as he wrapped Japan. But of all of the 22, or 21, I should say, remaining ones in the grid, I never saw Lance Stroll coming.
Lance never, like, to me, he never seems interested in the
Anything,
sport.
really.
Like, maybe it's because, after his whole debacle with, like, the media and everything like that, I think just in general, when he was, like, younger, he just moved away from the media and we don't know anything about him anymore.
And I mean, it's respectable. Like, we know it's not for everybody, and if your contract can get you out of it, good for you.
Yeah,
I mean, we talked about this at the
100%.
beginning of the season.
Plus,
how
I mean, like we've said, his dad owns the team. He's not going to make him do anything he doesn't want to do.
doesn't wanna do.
Plus, Fernando Alonso does not want to do anything either.
Yeah.
That man was the king of TikTok last year. Where's he at now?
it's it's kind of like whenever he wants to, he will give us some crumbs, and we will be here for them.
Yeah. I will say, now that I mentioned Fernando, this is so random, but it popped up on my timeline. It was an interview where they said that they had wanted Spain, when the Pope had visited Spain, I think back in like 2011, they wanted Fernando Alonso to drive the Pope Mobile.
Stop.
I
What?
thought it was, yeah, that they had petitioned for him to be the driver of the Pope Mobile. They're
That
like,
is
he has to, like,
hilarious.
they're like, no, it has to be a police
Did they
officer.
want the Pope to be injured?
I don't know. No, this is Fernando Alonso prime. I will defend my rookie. This was Alonso
I mean, but he
prime.
did. Okay, but do you realize the Pope Mobile moves at like less than 5 miles per hour,
But
right?
Wouldn't that have been so hilarious to just, Fernando Alonso in his little suit, just driving the Pope Mobile.
Who was the Pope at the time?
Pope. I believe it was it Benedict?
No, maybe John. No,
Girl, I don't know. I don't
one
know.
of them popes.
I've had like 4 popes in my lifetime. I don't know. It was one of them.
Tomorrow, today is April the 8th. Unsure when this episode is coming out in the following days. But tomorrow, April 9th, is the summit for the FIA, when they
Yes.
will announce and find and see what they can do with the new regulations. So we're about to find out exactly. We've heard so many rumors. Are they going back to V8 engines? Are they going back to? And this is
And
the
I'm
thing,
like-
I went to do my taxes earlier today,
Ugh.
and and
I don't want to talk about my taxes.
and my
That
accountant
was
said,
rough.
"How's the podcast going?" Blah 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 blah. Because I brought this idea up to him. He was the first person that found out about the podcast, I feel like, and he gave me a few tips and stuff. And he asked me a really good question that, for better or for worse, I hadn't landed there myself. We've heard very strong rumors about maybe we're going back to 2025 cars.
I hope so.
Okay, where's Cadillac in all this then?
That's true.
So-
but I think it might be easier. Not easier. I wouldn't say easier, but I think it might be a little bit easier because the drivers themselves are more used to those cars and their cars that they've ran for a long time, that they can help the mechanics out. Because essentially, that's why they hired Checo and Valtteri.
Yeah.
It's because they're veterans of the sport.
But they don't have an engine
That's true.
for last
Well,
year.
they have
Their
yeah.
whole car was created and
For
made
this year,
for
yeah.
this season, for this regulations, for this battery issue,
I feel
power.
like
So
a team would have to help them out with, like,
have to?
I mean, not have to, but they would have to find, not like the team wouldn't have to help them out. I would say they would have to get permission from a team to use one of their older
Yeah,
engines.
that's
You know,
very
they would have to
interesting.
figure out how to get a older.
Yeah, because
engine.
my tax person is a Checo fan, and that's why he brought it up first thing. And I was like, you know what? I haven't gotten around to land all of my thoughts about what these changes would entitle.
Yeah.
But that was a big one, and I'm assuming for the FIA too. Like, so what are we doing?
Yeah,
there?
there's a lot of things that they did not think about before. Mind you, these regulations have been a speculation and like been worked on for the past, I'm assuming, like 5 years ish minimum. There's a lot that they didn't think through.
A lot.
And it's crazy. Like, you're working on something for 5 years and you don't think things through. And also, not that they don't think things through, they also don't care. I think for the most, I think that's what it is
Yeah.
that they just don't care. Because, like the drivers have said, I mean, even people on our TikTok have said, like, have mentioned Max Verstappen. We
Has
mentioned
been
last.
complaining
he's
about
been saying
this.
since 2023. He's been complaining about these new upcoming
Regulations.
regulations. Like Carlos, obviously, George, I'm assuming as well because he's part of the GDPA, whatever the acronym is.
Which, by the
driver
way,
safety.
apparently it's popping. That's one of
Yeah,
the funniest
that
things that
group
came on
chat.
my timeline. Like,
Yeah.
oh, by the way, the driver's WhatsApp has been nonstop. I'm like,
Yeah.
I love that for them.
I would assume, I would hope so. Like, they're trying to figure something out as well. Like, it's just so frustrating to, work on something for so long, and it was something so anticipated. Like, 2025, at the top of 2025, a lot of the teams were like, honestly, we kind of are just scrapping this season, working on 2026, and now we get here and it sucks.
Yep. And it's gonna suck for a little bit, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. The good news is it's been a little bit over a week of forced break, and they've already, like, we've heard some rumors, we've heard some ideas, we've heard some thoughts of what might happen, and it's only been a week.
Yeah.
So we still have 2 more weeks, 3 until we hit the ground running. So I think progress is progress, and we'll take it.
Yeah.
But it sounds like we might get to a good spot.
Uh-huh. Sorry, I'm being attacked by fire.
At the end of the day, all we care about is the driver's safety.
Yeah.
Obviously, the entertainment, but when you're putting somebody's life on the line,
At risk.
everything else can wait. Everything else comes second. So as long as the people that know what's going on, your engineers, your team principals, your drivers, the people that are actually right there living it and loving it and going through it, I don't want to hear about what some diplomacy position or C executive level people have to say, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
You're not in the car. So hopefully we'll get, people will compromise here and there, and we'll have a good next couple of months until summer break,
Hopefully.
when I'm assuming they're gonna hammer down on certain things, see what else happens. They're not gonna fix it at 100% before Miami, but I want to say, like, some percentage, and then finish it up by the summer. I mean, there's a
So the
chance
second half of the season can be a little bit better.
Hopefully.
Yeah, and I did see, so before the last GP, I actually did see a lot of the teams. So I followed the FIA documents, and a lot of the teams brought upgrades, and like literally, so half of the grid, more than half of the grid, brought some type of update to see, or upgrade to see how they can make this better. And I think we have seen a lot of upgrades before, but I feel like not this many.
My red flag right now, and this is no shade towards anybody, like, I know they get less for summer break, and they'll make a vacation out of 3 days off. No shade to anybody, but none of the drivers are the factories. Like Lando and Arvid are in Portugal watching, like,
Oh my
soccer.
God, Esteban and Pierre together at a PSG game. Oh my God, please, someone freak
The
out
Monte
with me.
Carlo Masters are on. Kimi is somewhere with Valentino Rossi and Bezzecchi, just
Oh my
like
God,
riding
I know
dirt
Lando
bikes.
Norris is so jealous of Kimi right now because
Which-
so am I.
I mean, so are we all. Like, are you kidding me? Over
The
the
fact
ranch,
that he's
somewhere
in
the middle
his
of
ranch,
nowhere.
driving, yeah,
We
Yeah.
all wish we were Kimi
Yeah.
Antonelli this week, to be
literally.
honest with
Can
you.
we switch places, please?
And, like, everybody's just living it up.
Yeah.
And Albin, I think, is over here in California, probably supporting Lily. And so, okay, great. I'm assuming this is because, like, the powers that be are still trying to figure out what's going to go on.
Yeah.
So the factories everybody at the factory can actually get to work on whatever this changes are.
Shout out to the mechanics, the engineers. Listen, my inner Lewis Hamilton. Shout out to everyone back at the factory. Shout out to everyone back at the factory because
Which?
they work so freaking
So hard. So
okay,
hard.
Go ahead.
You know where I'm going with this.
Go ahead. Go
Speaking
ahead.
of the break and content that we've gotten over the break, Lewis Hamilton in that Ferrari 40. But who do we see as passenger princess?
No.
Kim Kardashian right next to him, and it's this Tokyo appearance that we all wait a whole year for. And then you're like, oh my God, Lewis is Tokyo content. And there she is. I had just seen, listen, we all feel a certain way about it, yes. I had just seen a headline that said Kim K and Lewis Hamilton go their separate ways as Mama Hamilton didn't approve. And I was like, thank the Lord Jesus.
Not
Hell
you
yeah,
believing the
let's go.
rumors.
And literally, not 2 hours later, I go on to Instagram and this content pulls up. I'm like, I thought Mama, what
Mama
happened?
Hamilton, what happened? Come on,
Did
girl.
you approve this? I was like, okay, so yep, that was. So that's on me for believing
Bamboozled.
everything I read all the time.
Bamboozled.
But that's what you get.
Oh, that's so crazy.
Also, keeping up with the Hamiltons, Esty
That
Bestie.
was so
that was the best
funny.
line of the week so far.
Esteban is so underrated sometimes.
He is.
Haas,
he really
Haas in
is.
general is so underrated. Both him and Ollie are hilarious.
Honestly, yes.
Oh my god, they're so funny. I need more content with them together because they're so funny.
Speaking of content too, huge shout out for F1 because they're just feeding us all the content that we haven't gotten all season. Like, on Instagram
Literally.
and YouTube, like the little questions that they
Follow
do.
their YouTube because the amount of stuff that they're just throwing on there, and just like even history wise, like back, I watched all of their stuff. That's what I spent doing most of this week. If I wasn't doing that, I started watching the very first Formula One race on F1 TV. If you
Nice.
don't know, you can watch every single F1 like race that's ever been on F1 TV or Apple TV if you're in the US. But
I promise you, even if you think you are, you're not getting enough out of your F1 TV subscription.
Right.
You're not.
I promise you, I literally will I'll go to work at, I mentioned I worked at a mechanic shop. I'll throw that on the TV, and my boss will come in to ask me a question, and he'll just stand there, and he'll be like, "Oh, this man, mind you, we don't talk F1, but if I put one where Senna is on or Prost or whatever, he's like, oh, this is the year that he did this," and I'm like, "Where did you come from? Where did you learn this?
Sir, who
told
are
this?"
you?
He's like, and then he'll go on into like a story of his personal life. He's like, "Oh yeah, that was that race because I did this one thing," and I'm like, "Huh?"
I love it.
Anyways,
I love it.
Bonding.
I love when that, and like stuff like that happens a lot now, that like when you just like focus one thing in your life. Because I remember I was at my aunt's house last night. In my lock screens.
Yes.
They change every top of the hour, right? And you just load in like an album with 50 photos, and it just rotates throughout the 24 hours.
Mind you,
of the
not
hour.
one of those 50 photos is me.
Not
Shame.
one. Not one.
Shame.
And so last night my phone was dying, and so my uncle like plugged it for me, and he's like, "Oh, who's that?" And I'm like, "F if I know, like
Yeah.
it could be any of them," and it's usually
Any of them.
And then he goes, "Oh, it's a Ferrari guy." I'm like, still, like it could be Lewis, it could be Carlos, it could be Charles. God knows.
Could be Fred.
I do not. It could be Fred. For all we know, right? For all he knows. And he's like, "It's the Ferrari guy." I'm like, still, at 33% chance I'm going to get this right. And then turns out it was Leclerc, which he doesn't really feature there in the a lot. But I was like, it's going to be Carlos. And he goes, is that guy? It's Lewis Hamilton. And I'm like,
Sure.
sir, in my entire life, have I ever known like that this man knows anything about motorsport?
So as you can tell, we're in a completely different place now because our sunlight went out, and now we're just finishing up our recap. Very short and sweet little episode. Not much going on with this break, like we said. We are going to the Long Beach GP for IndyCar and IMSA. We will be there the Friday because the rest of the week is going to be my birthday. So I will only be giving IndyCar one day. Thank you very much. And we are very excited to bring you probably one more episode before this break ends. We also have, after the Long Beach GP, is MotoGP for the weekend right before F1 comes back, which we are so excited about. Please watch it so that we have something to talk about with you guys. Also, F1 Miami is coming back so shortly, but what we're most excited about is MotoGP.